Hello and welcome to this new episode of Reporters Plus. Our report this month takes us to the Democratic Republic of Congo, a country ravaged by years of conflict and instability. A majority of the victims are women, many of them facing physical and sexual abuse on a daily basis. It's estimated that hundreds of thousands of Congolese women are raped or killed each year. Well, Laurence Fischer is a three-time world karate champion who decided one day that this just had to change. With the support of the Panzi Foundation, she gives free karate classes to women in the eastern province of Kivu. The aim, to help them defend themselves and feel more confident. Katia Clarence, Thomas Nicolon and Bastien Renouy bring us this report.
Swap legs. Go on, it's your turn.
2 nights a week, Laurence Fischer trains a karateka group in Puton. Her students know how lucky they are. Laurence isn't just any trainer. She is a 3 times world champion, 7 times European champion, and 11 times French champion. Having retired from competition in 2006, she trains her successors in her own way, by giving it her all.
And here I throw a combination. You have to be ready on your tatami mat from the off. You need to have the upper hand and you have to mark your territory right away. We are also talking about instinct. You are saying, I am he or she who is in charge on the tatami mat.
Or she. Laurence never forgets to include the women. For nearly 15 years now, she has dedicated all her free time to defending women around the world by initiating them into her discipline as a volunteer. She founded the association Fight for Dignity, and when she is not teaching high-level karate in France, she can be found in some of the world's most troubled regions.
My projects are to pass on skills, particularly to young women who are in complicated situations. Vulnerable young women for whom karate could be a tool to rebuild themselves. So it means meeting them, sharing the practice of karate with them, and giving them the tools that enable them to go back to their homes, ready to pass on what they've learned. Good night, everyone. Goodbye.
A few days later, Laurence sets off for the Democratic Republic of Congo. More precisely, Bukavu, on the shores of Lake Kivu in the east of the country. It is here that the Congolese conflict first started. For more than 20 years, armed groups have been fighting to seize control of its natural resources, in particular gold and coltan. It is a war that has not only caused millions of deaths, but also seen the explosion of a sickening epidemic. Mass rape, used as a weapon of war. And Laurence has come here to meet the victims of this tragedy. These women are survivors. What some of them have gone through is beyond all comprehension. They have been gang raped and tortured by entire units, by men who have forced all sorts of objects and chemical products into their bodies, who in some cases have even fired guns into their genital organs. They have found sanctuary in the Panzi Foundation, with Dr. Mukwege, a gynecological surgeon who has been repairing abused and battered bodies for 18 years, helping the victims to piece themselves back together. In his high-security clinic, Dr. Mukwege cares for close to 5,000 women per year and publicly denounces the impunity of the rapists.
If today we no longer accept chemical weapons, biological weapons, we no longer accept weapons such as landmines, how can we accept rape as a weapon of war? Our planet is not reacting strongly enough yet to draw a clear line and say, this line cannot be crossed. When I ask the girls this question when they arrive in our training center, nearly all of them say to me, after being raped, I feel like I'm no longer a woman. It's like they have had their humanity torn away from them. This feeling of being human and considering oneself as an object or an animal, for me that's very serious. These women have been destroyed, not just physically, but psychologically as well.
After being operated on, the body takes time to recover, but the mind needs even longer. So the Pansy Foundation shelters the women in a welcome centre for as long as they need. Temporarily protected in this haven of peace, the girls need to prepare themselves physically and mentally to one day face up to the world outside and all the dangers and traumas that it brings. Which is why Laurence has been coming here these past 3 years.
Hey, girls. Okay? Are you all doing well? Let's sit down, shall we?
Laurence has brought brand new kimonos for the girls. She already knows some of them, but each year new recruits sign up for her class.
Are they boarders here as well?
Sorry?
These girls?
Yes.
All of them? Oh, they've just arrived. That's great. Well, we need to get some more. I don't have enough. Are there enough kimonos for the next set of girls?
Yes.
Yes.
Franck Kwabe helps Laurence when she is here. The rest of the year, he's the one who runs the classes, twice a week.
My name is Laurence. I've been practicing karate since I was 12 years old, and I've been a world champion in karate. I have come here to share my experience in karate with you. Okay, so we just wrap it round once like that, here. You see that it's a bit too long. And I'm going to write your name like that on your belt. And then, when you leave, you will give your belt to another girl. And she will write her name above it as well. Okay? It's important. Okay, we greet each other, Re. The second greeting is Os. Great. We are cats. We are lionesses. We're agile on our feet. We are light. Are you ready? The knot on our belt, we have the eye of the tiger. We look at all the belt knots and we're going to touch them. Okay, let's go. Go all over the place. Yes. Yes.
By teaching them karate, Laurence wants to help the girls to take back ownership of their bodies. But of course, above everything, to know how to defend themselves.
I am accurate. I aim for his chin. I can't miss. And then after, when I've finished with my arm that's in front, I follow up with the arm that's behind. Here, in the plexus. Here the plexus is below, between the ribs. If you get in a good hit here, he can't breathe. Right here. That's why you have to be very accurate.
Franck translates into Swahili and is happy to take part in Laurence's demonstrations. As the only man in the class, he is the embodiment of what they have to defend themselves against.
Okay. Okay. So where do we aim, girls? We aim there, right? Right here. Aim well. We aim low between the legs. Okay, hit!
Sandra hits hard. She's been here the longest.
If you practice karate, your fear evaporates. You won't ever be afraid again. And if you don't have confidence in yourself, it will give you that confidence. Because you say to yourself, he can't hit me. I can stand up to him. We really do learn so many things.
They are incredible. I'm so very proud. They blow me away. They are beautiful. They are strong. They are focused. They pick it all up in so little time. And considering what they've been through, I'm gobsmacked.
The mutual admiration and the fact that they are all women generates trust. Here, Laurence isn't just a sportswoman or a coach. She's also a good listener.
When I do karate, I forget everything. But afterwards, the dark thoughts come back.
You know, when you see me doing karate exercises in my room, you think that I am doing it because of my passion for the sport. But actually, I do it to clear my head.
When she arrived here, Sandra was unable to communicate. Dr. Mukwege's help, and then meeting Laurence 2 years ago, have enabled her to come back to life. Sandra's story encapsulates a horrific phenomenon. 400,000 women are raped every year in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and not just in conflict zones. Wartime rape, like a cancer, has metastasized into Congolese society as a whole. The crime has become commonplace and goes unpunished, and it mainly affects those women who are the most vulnerable.
My parents divorced when I was still a baby. I stayed with my mum, but when I was 6 years old, my mother died, and I was left with my little brother, who was still a baby. Then he died too, and I was on my own.
Taken in by her uncle, Sandra grew up uneducated and impoverished. Then, when still a teenager, a neighbour who said he wanted to help her lured her into a trap.
And then he closed the door and he said, "I've wanted you for a long time, but I've never had the chance to have you before." And then I said to him, well, I started to cry, but I knew that even if I screamed, no one could come to help me. If I had known karate, none of that would have happened to me. I learned karate, but it was too late. That's something I often regret, yes.
Sandra fell pregnant after being raped. She gave birth to a stillborn child. She was 16.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Many children are born of rape. The women who come to Pansy are often pregnant. Laurence's karate is not just defensive, it is also therapeutic and helps those who have been tortured or have recently given birth.
When you've had a child, or when you've experienced sexual violence and it's been bad, down below, your muscles have gotten weaker. The muscles aren't good. So when you do these exercises, it helps you to feel down below again. It helps you to get the muscles back into shape after your child has been born. It helps you not to wet yourself, because it's these muscles that help you, and you achieve that by your breathing. When I push out the air, I pull in my stomach. I contract here, I push up, and when I have no more air left, I take the air back in. That's it. Breathe out, until there's no air left. That's it. And it's also good for karate. It enables you to have a good technique and to always feel strong. Okay? It is your body, it's yours, it belongs to you.
Franck is so committed to his mission that he often says, us, the women who have been raped. He has been practicing karate since he was a child, and he is eternally grateful to Laurence for giving even deeper meaning to his passion. The classes that he gives at the Pansy Foundation pay for his studies, but that is not what matters the most to him.
I'm very proud to train with women who have been raped, to try to help make a change and to contribute to their future life. In our region, in the east of the country, there have always been wars and violence. And I often used to say to myself, what can we do to bring about change in our country and put an end to the violence? Because these are our sisters and our mothers who are in the villages. When I met Laurence, I said to myself, thank God, this is just what we need.
And yes, he could hit me. So I've still got my arms in front of me to defend myself.
She has shown and demonstrated the importance of karate.
Hard, I go in hard.
Once you have learnt karate, they can no longer rob you of something that belongs to you.
I feel more like I'm someone who's going to show them that they exist, to make them aware of their identity, and that they have all they need inside of them. And when I see that in their efforts, I just want to say to them that through karate, they already have what they need, and that they are so strong. So I hope that I'm able to convey that, knowing that they learn so quickly. To me, they are the ones who are really the champions, not me.
The love that prevails in the foundation is almost enough to make Laurence forget the violence outside. But reality makes a harsh intrusion. Armed men have just murdered Dr. Gildo, a gynecologist. They killed him because of his friendship with Dr. Mukwege. Loathed by the militia, whose violence he denounces, and by the authorities whom he castigates for their inaction, the head of the Pansy Foundation is a marked man. Surrounded by his bodyguards when he ventures out of his hospital, protected by the United Nations, Denis Mukwege makes a hard target. So his enemies attack those close to him, themselves often doctors like Dr. Gildo.
I think his job made him vulnerable. I think that those who give life, those who protect life, absolutely have to be protected by those who should protect. Those who have the mandate to protect us. They should protect us. I think that the aim of our presence here is to demand an end to impunity in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
For Laurence, each trip to DR Congo is a mass of conflicting emotions. She shares the anger and the sadness of the people, but also their hope and their energy. 2 days later, she accompanies Franck to the City of Joy, the Pansy Foundation's training centre. After the hospital and the Welcome Centre, it is the last stage in the process of rebuilding the victims of rape. Here they can learn a trade and get ready to take back control of their lives.
What I want to show you is what women are capable of.
Yes!
The lady you see here, her name is Laurence. She's a world champion in karate. Us women, we're just as competent as men.
Yes!
Us women, we can go to the moon. We can become pilots or even the president.
Bravo! Bravo!
We do. Look. It's the exercises for the perineum. I swear to you. I don't need to teach them anything.
Laurence knows that she is making a difference and that she is inspiring the women of Panzi, but she also wants her karate to spread beyond the walls of the foundation. Sandra is going to make her day. Just before she leaves, she says she's going to teach karate in her neighborhood.
I can help other women to practice karate. I must do it because it has helped me. And as it has helped me, I have to pass that on to other women so that more of them can have that knowledge. Because I think that if all women manage to learn it, there won't be any more horrible things happening in our country. That's it.
Seeing a woman who practices karate, for some of them, that's a first. So what I'm trying to give them is self-belief and the awareness of who they are, that they exist, through the practice of karate. So it's not just self-defense, it's a woman who is speaking to other women. It's something that's human. It's love. It goes beyond... Sorry. Sorry. I would like not to have to come back. Because that would mean that if I don't come back, it means that it's stopped. But at the same time, there are so many women being raped. And these are little seeds that I'm sowing, and I hope that when I go back to France, I can tell people about it. I can talk about what's happening here and that people won't remain indifferent.
Laurence, she is so nice. She really has so much love. She has such a big heart for us all. Yes.
The champion has put some smiles of hope on these faces that have cried so many tears. She has passed on strength and self-belief. She leaves happy, but worried as well. And she has reason to be. Dr. Mukwege and his team are still under threat. Less than a month after Laurence Fischer's departure, a midwife from the Panzi hospital is killed in her home, along with her husband, in front of their children.
Well, don't forget, you can watch that whole report again anytime you like on our website at france24.com. This has been Reporters Plus. Thanks very much for watching, and do stay tuned to France 24.